What drives a person to risk everything over and over again? To bet entire fortunes, friendships, reputation, just for an idea? For more than 2 decades, one man has pushed the limits of technology and patience. Loved by millions, criticized by millions more, yet impossible to ignore. Today, we're diving into the intense, controversial, and often unbelievable life of Elon Musk, the man behind Tesla, SpaceX, PayPal, Neuralink, the Boring Company, and more. But this isn't the story you think you know, because the truth behind his rise is far stranger, riskier, and more human than you might expect. And it all starts long before Silicon Valley, with a quiet kid in South Africa who tried to escape the world around him by imagining new ones. Elon Musk was born on June 28, 1971, in Pretoria. He wasn't the loudest kid or the most confident. Actually, he barely talked at all. He read constantly. Fantasy, science fiction, engineering manuals, anything he could absorb. Teachers said he sometimes stared into space so deeply they wondered if he even heard them. His mind was somewhere else. But childhood wasn't an escape. It was a battlefield. He was bullied badly. Once, a group of boys threw him down a flight of stairs and beat him until he couldn't breathe. He spent a week in the hospital. And while his home life is complex and often debated, Elon has described moments of emotional difficulty, leaving him feeling alone even in his own house. So he did the only thing he could. He turned inward. He learned to program. At age 12, he sold a video game called Blastar for $500. Not life-changing money, but enough to prove to himself that imagination could be a way out. At 17, Elon made his first life-changing decision. He left South Africa, not because he wanted adventure, but because he refused to support a government built on apartheid, and because deep down he believed America was where the future lived. He arrived in Canada with almost nothing. He worked odd jobs cleaning boilers, cutting logs, anything that paid. Later, he studied at Queen's University, then transferred to the University of Pennsylvania, double majoring in economics and physics. But it wasn't the degrees that changed his life. It was the realization that the internet was about to reshape everything, and almost no one saw it yet. Most people graduate college and look for a job. Elon Musk graduated and started looking for a revolution. In 1995, Elon, his brother Kimball, and a friend launched Zip2, an online business directory mixed with digital maps. Think, early Google Maps, but before Google Maps existed. They couldn't afford an apartment, so they slept on beanbags in the office. Elon showered at the YMCA, he coded all night, every night. And then miraculously Zip2 began to grow. Major newspapers signed on, investors followed, but success came with friction. Elon was young, intense, and obsessed with control. The board pushed him aside, replacing him as CEO. It was a painful lesson. But when Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million, Elon walked away with $22 million. At just 27 years old, he was rich, but money wasn't the goal. He wanted influence. He wanted impact. He wanted to build something that genuinely changed the world. Elon used his Zip2 money to create XCOM, an online bank. It sounded boring, but his ambition wasn't. He wanted to reinvent the entire financial system. Soon, XCOM merged with a competitor called Confinity, which had a small but promising payment tool. The tool was PayPal. And this is where the story turns volatile. Elon clashed with the board. He pushed aggressive changes. He made enemies. And during a trip abroad, the board staged a coup, removing him as CEO. Imagine the frustration. You build a company from scratch, merge it into something bigger, and then get kicked out. But when eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion, Elon walked away with $180 million. And instead of buying mansions or yachts, he did something unthinkable. He put all of it, every dollar, into 3 new companies. Most people diversify to stay safe. Elon Musk concentrated to take a leap so big, it almost destroyed him. In 2002, Elon founded SpaceX with a goal that sounded like science fiction. Make humanity a multi-planetary species. Start with Mars. NASA laughed. The aerospace industry scoffed. His own friends told him he was out of his mind. But Elon didn't want to watch space exploration stagnate. So he hired young, hungry engineers, people not afraid to break rules. And they started building rockets. Not in luxurious NASA hangars, but in a scrappy warehouse in Los Angeles. And the failures came fast. Falcon 1, Flight 1, explosion. Flight 2, failure. Flight 3, almost, but no, another failure. By 2008, SpaceX had one last chance, and Elon had one last dollar. He had invested his entire fortune. He was borrowing money to pay rent. Had the 4th rocket failed, SpaceX would be dead. Tesla, also struggling, would be dead. Elon Musk's entire legacy would collapse. Then, on September 28, 2008, the 4th rocket reached orbit. SpaceX became the first private company in history to do it. NASA took notice. Soon after, they awarded SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract. And just like that, Musk pulled his company back from the brink of extinction. While SpaceX fought to survive, another battle raged on Earth. In 2004, Elon invested in a small electric car startup called Tesla Motors. He eventually became chairman, then CEO. And Tesla's mission was simple: prove that electric cars could be exciting. But the auto industry didn't want Tesla to succeed. Suppliers refused to work with them. Short sellers predicted bankruptcy. The media mocked their delays. And inside the company, chaos, layoffs, near bankruptcy, employee burnout. A brutal pace that Elon himself later admitted pushed people and himself too far. Yet, slowly, painfully, Tesla survived. The Model S stunned the world. The Model 3 became the best-selling electric car ever made. Tesla factories spread across the globe, and by 2020, Tesla wasn't just an automaker. It was the most valuable car company on Earth. But with success came controversy. Elon's tweets, his clashes with regulators, accusations from critics, praise from fans. Some saw him as a visionary. Others saw him as reckless. But nobody ignored him. As if rockets and electric cars weren't enough, Elon launched more companies, each weirder and more ambitious than the last. Neuralink, a brain-computer interface aimed at helping people with paralysis and eventually enhancing human cognition. The Boring Company, a tunnel-digging startup created partly as a joke, partly out of frustration with traffic. Starlink, a satellite network providing global internet access, now used by millions worldwide. These projects weren't just businesses. They were expressions of something deeper. A belief that the future should be bigger, stranger, more daring, and that waiting for others to build it wasn't an option. In 2022, Elon bought Twitter, renaming it X. The move ignited debates, criticism, praise, and confusion. Supporters said he was defending free speech. Critics said he was breaking the platform. The world watched, argued, joked, and doom-scrolled. Yet again, Musk stepped into chaos willingly. Whether X becomes a financial disaster or a digital empire, only time will tell. So who is Elon Musk? A genius? A gambler? A builder? A disruptor? A villain to some? A hero to others? Maybe he's all of these. Maybe he's none. But what's undeniable is this. Elon Musk has repeatedly bet everything money, reputation, comfort on ideas that most people called impossible. And whether you admire him or criticize him, the world around you has already changed because of him. Cars are electrified. Rockets land themselves. The internet reaches remote villages. And Mars, once only a dream, now feels like a destination. History doesn't reward those who play it safe. It remembers those who dare. And Elon Musk, for better or worse, has never known how to do anything else. Thanks for watching. If you found this biography fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us which Elon Musk company do you think will matter most in the next 50 years.